Okay, your assignment for this week is to click this image on that last slide, and it will prompt you to make a copy. Once you make a copy, then you can rename that to whatever you want if you want to put your name on it. Right? And then do that thinking. So I'm going to do that modeling of that thinking. So for my model, I'm looking at my content in math, and I want students to solve word problems. So that's my content. But the strategy I want them to use in order to solve word problems is I want them to find math words, right? And then how will I do my gradual release? Will it be in this order? So 1, 2, 3. And yes, so mine will be in the typical order because I'm modeling a brand new strategy for them. So I will do the I do first and do that modeling and that think aloud. So, as we're learning this new strategy, some scaffolding that we might need. So, that verbal, I'm going to do that think aloud. And then for procedural, I'm really going to do some explicit modeling for them. And then for the instructional piece, I'm going to have a graphic organizer that helps them kind of pull those words out of the story problem using that strategy. And then for the cognitive function, I want them to apply this skill of finding math words in order to meet my content. And then my language objective for this lesson, remember my content was to solve story problems. So my domain was really the speaking because I want them to explain how they solved a story problem with their group. And then this part really talks about how will I provide scaffolds depending on the proficiency levels I have in my room. Now, we get this question a lot. Do I need to plan scaffolds for every single proficiency level I have in my room? And I say no. I say think about who you have in your room and what individual students might need, and that's what you provide. But another way to plan that kind of holistically, looking at your group, is I plan for level ones, I plan for level threes, and I plan for level fives. And I do that because these in between levels of twos and fours, you might have some twos that are a bit higher and would benefit from the level three scaffolding, but then you might have some level twos that are a bit, they're not quite there yet. So they might benefit from a level one scaffold. And the same for four. Those higher ones could go up to the fives, and then we can adjust for ones that might still need the level three scaffolds. So my scaffolds for this, in order for them to participate in this skill, I might have a graphic organizer that's filled in, partially filled in. I might also do a word bank for them. I want you to look for these specific words in the story problem. I might also refer them back to an anchor chart that maybe we have created around all the vocabulary that means addition or multiplication or division. So I might refer them back to that anchor chart or give them a smaller copy to use. I might also provide them some sentence stems in order for them to speak with a partner. I highlighted these words, blank, 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 because blank, blank, blank. And that might help get them to use the language we want them to use, or just get them talking about the words they identified. And then finally, I want them to be in a small group with some speaking models. So this will not be a homogeneous group. It might be a heterogeneous group because I want them to have some speaking models. Sorry if I misspelled anything. All right, then I'll move to my level 3. And for my level 3, they won't have quite as much support, but I do want them to have this graphic organizer. But the difference is I won't fill that in. They also won't need the word bank. At a level 3, if we think back to what a level 3 looks like for speaking, they probably won't need the word bank. They have some words already in their schema or in their background that they can tap into. The anchor chart will be there available as part of my wall resources. So I won't make them a smaller copy to use, and they won't need the sentence stems, but I will also have them in a small group that is hetero. Hetero. I'm spelling this wrong, guys. I'm so sorry. So they'll still be in a small group. All right, and then for level 5, they will not need much of this scaffolding. But I'm not going to give them a graphic organizer. Instead, I'm going to give them a blank poster because I want them to kind of word web this out and identify those words and then maybe group them on their own. But in order to support that thinking, I might give them a set of criteria questions to guide some of that thinking. All right, so then my higher order questioning for this, if you think back to that chart that will align all of that thinking, because I'm doing apply, I looked across there to get some of those sentence stems. So that's what I use to help me develop my questions. And I might say, do you know another instance where you could apply this strategy? Another question I might want them to think about is, can you group these math words by their functions or attributes? And then I'll go to those go-to scaffolded questions, those probes, prompts, and cues that were on the slide. And for my kids who really get this, they know these math problems, they can group them by their attributes, by their functions. I might use tell me more. And people who know me know that this is kind of my go-to. Tell me more, explain, tell me why. For the prompts, those kids who are almost got it, but they might need some redirection, I might say, I might use the let's think about when we talked about something along those lines. I might want to remind them to go back. Let's think about when we kind of blank, 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 or when we talked about blank, 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 so I can connect it back. And then the cues, I would cue them to look at the anchor chart that we created for some of these word problems or some of these math words that are related to add or multiply or divide. So I might refer them back, like, let's go over and look at the chart. Let's look at that. So once you make your own copy, you're going to do all that thinking around an upcoming lesson or maybe a past lesson that you've done. And then you'll submit that in Canvas. Again, if you have any questions, please let us know. We're happy to help with any of the thinking involved with that.